What's going on, guys?
We're back, baby!
Welcome back to the S.n.B. show. Of course, that's Jay. I'm Nick. We are S.n.B.
Capital S, little n. We're a big old B. Ready for the show today. You thought we were going to say some cuss words.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be like we call one of those classics.
Classics. So, Mr. J had an idea. He ran it by me a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's take songs from this decade, albums, excuse my language, albums from 2008 to 2012. We rate them, judge them, and pick our favorites from them eras. 5 altogether, 1 song per album.
Right.
So, she gonna be a fun one. And I'll tell you what, this was a hard one.
I just got done with some of mine.
Same. We literally just finished it not too long ago.
I'll tell you my little pre-work of how I came to my draft selection here, and I know we have the top 5 picks, and hopefully these are the good ones on JHS. You know, we can turn.
But first,
here we go.
you already know,
He's gonna do it.
we gotta say hi to Mr. Panda.
Don't have to say hi to Mr. Panda.
Yes, we do.
Look, he comes messed up. Look, what is that? What is?
I keep telling him he needs a shave, but he just don't want to listen.
I hope that hurt you.
I think we're both trying to grow our hairs out.
Well, why does he keep coming back here?
Because
What does he know about music?
he's a fan favorite.
What is he, Michael Jackson?
Yes, he doesn't see color.
You know what?
Right down the middle.
He's right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
You know what's right down the middle?
Oh boy.
Come there, bug.
Say hi to our pets.
Mr. Duduk.
Mascots of the show. What's up, dog? See, I bring him in with love, and you hate my panda.
I brought the panda in!
Well, now he's mine. But anyway, just saying hi from the folks. Wave hi, Mr. Panda. And that's enough of that. Alright, back to the real show. If Jay can put the turkey... Oh, you're going to just hold on to
Oh,
it?
you pooped on us. It pooped on my back.
You pooped on your turkey, that's okay. So you just going to hold him there the whole time?
He's here to make his announcement of the first pick.
Oh, okay.
Of our first one.
Okay, Nick, heads or tails?
Tails.
Hey!
Hey, don't start with me, bird. I don't want to hear it. It's tails.
Alright.
So,
Turkey!
alright, turkey. Dirt, whatever. So, my pick from the year 2008 in the first ever S.n.B. album draft is Randy Houser, Anything Goes, his first major debut album. And my song from that record is Wild Wild West. An amazing song, and if you guys know anything about me, I'm very in tune with the songwriting aspect of records. And
No turkeys, I promise.
And he was a writer on this song, which I absolutely loved. And obviously, the hit song... You know, I'm trying to do a serious conversation here. And you keep fucking getting in my face.
Did they kill turkeys?
Yes.
Turkey!
Be gone. I ain't stopping. And obviously, the most popular song off that record was Boots On. Smash hit for Mr. Houser during that time. With an amazing video. You remember that video with the little boy in the back seat? Jamming with his boots on? But yeah, that is my pick for 2008.
Turkey? Are you ready? Get down there and look at it. You want that shit. Our pick in the first ever S.n.B. album draft, alongside my friend Turkey, is none other than, probably not a shock to anybody that knows me, is Montgomery Gentry, Back When I Knew It All.
Yep.
That album, man, for me, was really great. I can think of everything off the album. Start off with a big revival of that first, the first thing they come in on it. And that was like a really changing time for them and how they were sounding from like a little bit of the honky tonk Yes, if they had up until that point, they were kind of blending into more of like a little rockiness more into it. So it was really awesome. Everybody probably identifies that album back with "Roll with Me." That was, I argue, their biggest hit off that album. My favorite song off the album was a song called "One Trip." It was about a guy in a Greyhound bus telling T. Roy how life is amazing and stuff like that, and just like the lyricness of it was really good. So that was my pick, because Montgomery Gentry has always been my favorite. That's why I love music, and I mean, they had a good album too, so that was awesome. And I have it signed.
Yes, sir.
Alright, buddy, you take it easy, okay? Just stand by me.
I 100% agree with what he said with that record. I also love that record. That's why I said this was so hard, because, you know, between me and him, we both have very similar taste in music. And I also love that record too. I just didn't deep dive it as much.
Alright, so am I next?
Yeah, you can take the 2009.
This one was really hard for me. Okay, like in 2009, every song, every album that I listed down was like I usually had a top 5 here to go for the top 5 prospects. But we had a couple colleges, a couple songs albums sneak up in me like I wasn't ready or prepared for. I'll tell you.
And you know, man, it was tough too, because there's just so much good music that came out of country music in these 5 years. So many,
especially
good
the artists that at least that I would assume that we picked off here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Off all these good albums, I came down to 2. It was either Eric Church's Carolina or Jake Owen. I forget what the hell his album was with that.
Oh, Easy Does It. Easy Does It.
And why I love both of these, man, it was Eric Church for me. Eric Church's Carolina was more hitting home for me at the time. I loved his song Love Your Love the most, but Smoke a Little Smoke was obviously everybody's popular favorite one. But mine, of that album, was Where She Told Me to Go. That was a great illustration of a dude just down and out, has nowhere to go, nowhere to run to, and like, you know, how Eric just lyrically he could take you to a great story. That's mine for 2009.
Very good pick. But for me, in 2009, it was a little different. And like I said, I've told this story a bunch of times, never to you guys, but so in 2009 was a weird year for me, because it was like when I first really started to listening to music that like wasn't on the radio per se, or somebody picked for me. I actually went and bought this record myself, and it was Keith Urban, Defying Gravity. Was my favorite record of 2009, and also the single, most popular single off that record. There was a couple of them. There was like Kiss a Girl and When Summer Came Around, but I think the most popular one was probably Sweet Thing. I think it was a toss-up between either Sweet Thing or Kiss a Girl.
Mm.
I'm not sure which one overdid the other, but my favorites album cuts off that record was I'm In or My Heart Is Open. That one's a tough one too. I mean, they're two very similar songs, pretty much talking about saying that your heart is open pretty much for, no pun intended on that one, but for any sort of love, and you're ready to just jump into it right away. And if you haven't heard those songs, go check them out. We'll have a playlist down in the bio. Of all these songs, of all these records that we're talking about and the songs, we'll put them down there so you guys can go check them out. But yeah, that was my pick. That one could do a little shock for you.
Oh,
Knowing
yeah.
the taste in music nowadays.
Keith Urban, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like I said, that was way different back then.
You're up for 2010.
Oh, I am up for 2000. So this one was a pretty easy one for me, because this is where at the time, my rebellious side kicked in, I would say. And my 2010 pick is none other than Mr. Brother Brantley Gilbert. The first Halfway to Heaven record, the white one, not the deluxe. the first done one, not before he took it back into the studio and redid it. You gotta go back, way back to find these songs. And the most popular song off of that one was Kicking in the Sticks, obviously. You know, every, you know, redneck boy wannabe listened to that song. Mm-hmm. And I was that redneck boy wannabe once upon a time in 2010, listening to Brantley Gilbert as I was probably doing some dumb stuff, you know. And, you know, that's when my music taste started to change from like that softer spoken Keith Urban singing, loving to let's rock this mother out, you know what I'm saying? And my favorite song off that record was Bending the Rules and Breaking the Law.
I did that.
Because there's a little piece in that song that really holds true to me, and it's, you know, I've made mistakes that paved the way for the man I am today. And that's always been a line that I've absolutely loved, and I've always loved Brantley's writing style. And once again, I love songwriters that write on the record. What you got?
Hi, loves.
Hi, loves.
I don't know. I wanted to have a cool prop while you were talking.
Oh, okay. So yes, that's my 2010 pick. Brantley Gilbert, Halfway to Heaven, the white cover.
The white one.
Not the red one. Don't get me wrong, I love More Than Miles, and
or the blue one.
And you don't know her like I do.
But I really don't.
But the white cover, like I said, link will be in the bottom.
So it came down to another two for me. But I was between Matt Cannon or Easton Corbin. I picked my man Easton Corbin because that whole record, man, I can sing that as I think it's basically the debut record was Easton Corbin's. Mm-hmm. And it came out with more country than that, which is probably what you guys don't know, or We Can Roll With It was off that album too.
And also Easton Corbin was the guy that everybody thought was George Strait.
Yeah, thought George Strait had his alter ego. 2011. I had Eric Church, the Chief. I had Brad Paisley and This Is Country Music, Blake Shelton, Red River Blue, Justin Moore, Outlaws Like Me, and Luke Bryan, Tailgate Tamlin. You know what? Justin Moore was my man that time. I love that whole album, Outlaws Like Me. Hell, even had it tattooed on myself. Outlaws Like Me right here. I love that because that, I mean, the album title within itself, that is a great story song. Now, everybody probably knows the song off that one is Beta Hook. Probably was about one because that's coming back around. People like to do the little hooky dance that even Justin don't know how to do.
Yep.
But I love Outlaws Like Me, right? Then I would probably thought we were going to that, or Sunshine Babies, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. But I love Running Out of Honky Tonks.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I love that song through and through. Like,
Midnight in Albuquerque.
my man said, drunk again on a little wild turkey. Damned if our memory did. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was my 2011, man. That's probably my, if not my walk off, my next one will be, but that, I don't know.
You know, funny you mentioned that, because in 2011, that was also my pick. Justin Moore's Outlaws Like Me. But I'd have to keep my song choice to the title track. Because there's just something, and if you've never heard Outlaws Like Me, you need to go check it out. And if you've never had the pleasure of listening to it live, go check that out too. That's also on YouTube. Listen to him sing. Listen to that man. Yes, sing that song live.
In his earlier days, and I love Justin now, but the way he did it in his earlier days when he was coming up with the fairs and stuff, when he used to do it, it was amazing. Like he's a show off. He's an ass.
And if it doesn't give you goosebumps, then there's something wrong with you. Because the way he performs that song and just sells it, and he's just good at what he does. And also, like you said, Beta Hook is a popular song on that record.
Heaven was far away.
Also, I forgot If Heaven Wasn't So Far. Actually, If Heaven Wasn't So Far Away So since you picked, you gave credit to Outlaws Like Me and also Run Out of Honky Tonks. Flying Down a Back Road was my my sneaky one in there. That's such a fucking banger.
Really?
Flying Down a Back Road, yep.
Really? Huh.
And that song and Better My Chevy are two ones
okay.
that like are now starting to get the popularity that they should have had back then. Because he keeps playing them at these shows because those were like fan favorites. But definitely Outlaws Like Me, the title track, is probably my favorite song off that whole record.
Redneck Side.
That's fun. Redneck Side, Sunshine Babies. Hold on, I'm trying to remember all of them.
My Kind of Woman.
My Kind of Woman. Yep.
First time I saw her, she looked good in the tractor, good in my truck.
Yep.
Good on my bed when the sun comes up. Good with a cape on, good with a gun.
Gotta talk about beer time.
And guns.
And guns, yes sir, and guns.
I think we just listed that one.
I think we did. But yeah, as you can tell.
See, and we didn't talk about that, by the way. I promised.
Nope.
We did not even talk about
So yeah, we kept this from each other just for this reason, so we would be completely...
No, I guarantee you, 2012 we went in two different directions.
Probably. So, 2012, I had a lot of... 2012 was probably my hardest one to pick, because there's two records that sing true to me. Actually, there's like 3 or 4. Okay, I'm just going to do what you did for 11. So in 2012, there was Florida Georgia Line, Here's to a Good Time, their debut record. Jason Aldean's Night Train. Jake Owen's Barefoot Blue Jean Night was a really good record. I can't remember the last two, but those were like the top 3 that I was going with, because those were the top 3 that was... Back in the Saddle by Chris Cagle. Everybody knows I love Cagle.
Not shooting whiskey,
Even though he don't shoot whiskey.
Cagle, we gotta talk about this.
Yeah,
and you know what? We're almost catching you in popularity, so you can probably see us.
But anyway,
I love him.
So I love Chris Cagle's Back in the Saddle. I love Jake Owen's Barefoot Blue Jean Night. And I absolutely love Florida Georgia Line's Here's to a Good Time. And I hate to do this, but I'm taking Aldean, Night Train.
Ooh, got some Aldean love in the thing.
Because this was before Aldean was Aldean now.
Yeah, before he was J.A.
Yeah, before he was
Joker and Ace.
the new like supermodel you see on TV with his wife. Which, nothing against him, I get it. But this was like...
He cheated to get her.
Yeah, I know he did. I mean, I get it too.
He went through the whole TMZ process just for her.
But I am going to give some credit to Here's to a Good Time for a second from FGL. And it was a song called Country in My Soul that you won't find if you look up their record. You got to go find it on YouTube. But anyway, Jason Aldean's Night Train is my pick, and the song off of it is called Black Tears. That was my favorite. That was the most story-told song on that record. And it was different. Like, and I'm not going to explain to you what it's about, but you can go listen to it and tell me what you think. Because it was... Or I Don't Do Lonely Well. That was another one of my favorites. And that, obviously, in the title it says I Don't Do Lonely Well. I mean, you can pretty much figure that one out. And I think it was The Only Way I Know, or the title track, was the most popular song off that record.
Probably the only way I know because Luke Bryan got on it.
Yeah, in church.
In church, but we know what Luke Bryan was. So.
Oh yeah. I struggled with the Tailgates and Taillights too for 2011 though, because I really liked that song, that record too. But yep, that's my 2012 pick, Jason Aldean's Night Train. But I had to show some love to FGL's Here's to a Good Time.
I met this man, shook his hand, got his autograph, and forever we will be a fan no matter what direction and music he brings into it. A hippie man, I think, smokes a lot of ganja. I don't care what he said, I think he does. My man Kip Moore.
Yep.
Up All Night record. That man.
Debut? The debut record?
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody Truck was one of them. Then you had Hey Pretty Girl.
Mm-hmm.
care about his popular ones, man, just because get more, like Nick said, people that write their own songs, when you learn, like obviously people that just listen to songs think that just because they sing them, they write them. And once upon a time, until you get into the business, like you kind of think that, right? And it was, where was it? No.
Was it on the door?
Oh, Beer Money. That's what it was, Beer Money. That been the 3 off of that album. Now me, personally, I liked Reckless. That's a hell of a story on that thing. And Fly Again. Fly Again is my favorite, by far favorite film. I'll tell you why, because when he does that live, y'all, which by the way, we'll have that, we'll find, he has 3 rules to a breakup. There are 3 phases. And I gotta try to remember them, but basically in phase 1, you're Dan, you're sad, and he can relate. You call your buddies with the same story, and they don't give a shit, right? Mm-hmm. Phase number 2, you're mad. You're mad because you spent all that time on that lady, all that money, or for the girls, you spent all your time on that big ass heifer that you had to pay to, keep in the...
Go ahead, keep going.
I feel you ladies, I understand. You know what I mean? Phase 3 is when you finally just don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, listen, the way that he explains the way he does it, it's hilarious. I've met him, producer met him, Kenny has met, like, Nick's the one who didn't meet him.
Hold on, you had his autograph.
Yeah, we've had his autograph, had conversations, and he didn't have to do none of that. I think that's what's really, really cool. He could have just jumped on the bus. Every time that he's been at Kegs, I go see him, and every time that happens, he jumps off stage and goes get autographs, and he'll sign it for free. He doesn't charge you to do nothing. You don't even have to have his merchandise. You can just bring a ticket to him. He's going to sign it. I think that's really cool about who Kip Moore is. And even after this, pretty much everything he's put out, I loved about that.
That's Jake. I'm Nick. Together we are the Southern North Boys.
And if you keep it real with us,
We will keep it real with you.
see you in the flip side.
Hey.